Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York, Blind. Now, I'm here waiting for Thomas Arturo to leave the Elysium because I've read in Agathon's journal that he might be somehow related to the death of Callahan, I guess, in a roundabout way. So, I know Arturo tends to leave the Elysium quite often to take in some fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry, so I just wait until I see him. The tactic works, he's surprised to see me. Miss Savinsky, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation? I am, actually, which is why I've come to see you. That's peculiar, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with the case. Aren't you barking up the wrong tree? That's what I'm here to find out. I assume you would want to see Thoreau. Yes, sure, I suppose it's commendable. What is it then? I have reasons to believe that in the last few months, you, the High Regent Aisling Sturbridge, and her child Agathon were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is palpable to me. For the first time, he looks at me as a person. Until now, I was just an amusing diversion. Now I am something more, and he doesn't like it. So I've struck a nerve, apparently. Now, what gave you this idea? I'm not at liberty to say. If you really want to know, ask the sheriff. Of course, Carrier doesn't know anything, but he's the only one in the court that Arturo has repeatedly failed to influence. He will think twice before approaching him. I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand. I have every reason to think that Baron Callahan was involved, and that he might have had grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand? Miss Sabinsky? Please answer the question. The delicate matter you are speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It is a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it. It would be wise of you to fuck off. It's good, at least I guess I should be grateful for the fact that she didn't say it out loud. I can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate. This matter is unrelated to your work and should be treated as such. I am 100% convinced Prince Bernard would agree. If you insist on pursuing it further, we can take it up to the Prince and see if her stance differs from mine. But I think you aren't as naive as to waste her time this way, and besides, she would certainly want you to present the basis for your discovery to the court. Could you handle it? I guess I'm not... regardless of which option I choose, it's clear that my character is not entirely sure of herself. Maybe... I have no response. God damn it. This is his revenge for invoking Kadir, isn't it? I thought so. Is the High Regent inside? She is, but don't worry. I will make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Miss Savinsky. So that's how you're going to play it now, you bastard. Well, I guess you win this round. A strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet, but just you wait. In a few nights... I'll take my leave then. Yes, do that. And if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation avenues that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal to pursue, miss. I bid you adieu. I curse him under my breath as he disappears into the art hall. Guess this avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. Well, to be honest, in a way it was kind of stupid to even confront him if she didn't have a concrete plan of what to do, because now he knows that I know. I should have waited until I had, more pieces of the puzzle, as it were, to sort of nail him down in one strike, because as is, I have accomplished jack shit, but I have revealed my hand, or at least a part of it, to him. So I think it was unwise, all things considered, but the game didn't really give me a choice. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go by, but for now, it's getting late. I should go to St. Patrick and file my latest report. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him from afar. Time to move in and move out, but before I'm noticed by Benoit. Will this be all? I guess so. I rattled off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come up with a more exhaustive report tomorrow night. Busy? Looks that way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors. Here we go again. Of course he had to sneak up on me. If even you heard about that, I guess that means every single kindred in the 5 boroughs knows it. I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who's saying what and where, but the last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me. Yeah, I was kind of lying. That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her? Don't involve me in your silly games, Benoit. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication. And that is? You only pay attention to the what that's being said and not the how. That's... Booyah, motherfucker. Suck it. Annihilated with an absolutely flawless diagnosis. Child, don't make me regret siding with you. I'm sorry, Father. Won't happen again, especially if you promise to keep verbally destroying that clown. And you're in a strange mood tonight, child. Go get some sleep. Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow. I'm not showing up here tomorrow. Yes, you are. Stop breaking the 9th commandment. See you around, Julia. He says my name in a sickly sweet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to Father Leonard, do my best to ignore Benoit, and head for Dakota's place. Finally, my haven. Hey. Hey. Another tough night? You don't know the half of it. You want a drink? She points to her neck. I manage to summon a faint smile. I'd love to, but you know we can't do it too often. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. Like, I've never really looked very hard at the logistics of vampires drinking blood, but obviously, because I don't remember how much blood do you need to survive, you know, as in how much in milliliters or whatever, you know, how much, literally what's the quantity of the blood that you need to take on a daily basis as a vampire in the World of Darkness to survive, because obviously blood doesn't really regenerate that quickly. That's why there are limits to, if you donate blood, you can't do it too often. I think you can only do it once a month, or even less often than that. Unfortunately, I myself can't donate blood because of some health problems. I would really like to, but I was never accepted. But yeah, you can't do that too often because obviously you can't lose too much blood, because that would be hazardous to your health. So I wonder, you know, if a vampire has a ghoul, how often can they feed from them as to not kill them or not endanger their health? You want to talk then? Yeah, guess so, just not about work, okay? I sit down next to her. Not about work, got it. What's on your mind then? The past, I guess. Meaning? How spotty our memories are, and how despite that, that's what we build our convictions on. Sorry, it's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated. Well, let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the time we first met? The time we first met? Yeah. Shit, not a lot actually. These were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank spaces. I remember you trying to paint your hair black. Ouch, don't dig up my trauma now, okay? I remember that when we first talked, we talked about Hausu? What? I don't know that. I don't know what that's referring to. Don't say Hausu, or however you really say it. It's low-key racist, I think. I have no idea what that means, to be honest, so I wouldn't know. Nobody ever knows what you mean by house. Ah, right, okay, so it's like... so it's like a bastardized pronunciation of the word house that's supposed to invoke, you know, a very heavy accent or something? That show with the asshole doctor? No, the Japanese haunted house horror film that feels like it was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD. Again, I have no idea what they are referencing. I'm not entirely, you know, up to speed with Japanese haunted house horror films, or any kind of Japanese art, to be honest. In the best way. In the best way, duh. We were arguing which characters from the movie both of us are. You were Kung Fu, and I ended up as Professor... As Prof? It's not a professor, I guess. As Prof, which was rude. You were dressed up like a total nerd. Not my fault. What was the deal with that suit? I liked that suit. Yeah, it was okay. I remember helping you out with the graphic design whenever you needed it. Funny, I remember you needing help with the writing as something that tended to happen far more often. Yeah, we developed a fun shared aesthetic with similar surface concerns, and it bonded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Hell, I'm still not sure we are. Especially now, with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least we both agree that this bedroom feels super comfy. I remember always feeling left out of your social circles. Always knocking at the door from the outside. Oh, forget it. My social circles were full of out-of-touch, snobby assholes. Yeah, but it felt weird how much they avoided me. And there was that one time with Isabella. All of a sudden, one thing Isabella said at that one party flashes in my mind with startling clarity. After midnight, in that kitchen without context, she just walked up to me and... She will isolate you, she will suck you dry, and she will move to your next to the next target. That's the only thing she knows. Is that about Dakota? I guess. Because she said it to me and not to her. Don't remind me of Isabella. She always resented me. It's been so long and it's all baseless conjecture now, but what if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? And to be honest, you know, I'm not an expert in relationships, and we haven't seen that much of the relationship between Dakota and Julia, because it's only, you know, snippets when she returns to her haven for the day. But it seems pretty heartwarming to me overall. Like, it doesn't seem toxic, at least at first glance. Well, I guess it is kind of toxic in a way, because every relationship between a vampire and a human is toxic in a way because of the effects of the kiss. Because, you know, her mind is not entirely her own anymore. Even though she's not a ghoul, the sensation of the kiss itself is addicting. Nah, the glass is half full. The past is a Schrodinger's cat and all that. Better to believe in the positive version of events. I wonder if that is influenced by my traits, because I was, I declared I'm trying to be more of an optimist before. Would that line of dialogue be different if I had different traits? Come to think of it, friend or foe, if you don't believe they are on your side, they will know it one way or the other, and then it's 100% certain they won't be on your side. Maybe optimism really is the way. Yeah, forget Isabella, let's just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough, I need a reset. Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep? Yeah, gotta go ready to get back to hell tomorrow. Alright, I'll get back to work. You're working remotely again? Yeah, my office is going insane for so many reasons, and I'm getting cabin fever too. Get some sun, it will be good for you. Look who's talking. Good night, sunshine. Good night. Okay, so I need to rest. A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message slipped under the apartment's front door. Kadir? Yup. Looks like he's got a short window to meet me in Queens a few hours from now. Well, it's point. A single suggestion. Get ready for action. Fine then, I will. Best way to do it would be to clear my mind. Just to walk without thinking, reset the framework. Some fresh air would do it. Maybe a chance meeting with someone could get me out of this mental rut. Let me look at the world from a different angle for a while and improve my mood. Although when it comes to improving one's mood, nothing beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention, these cigarettes taste best with a full stomach. Let's go. Okay, so once again I have two options. Oh, isn't that the stalker from Coteries? There's no place like home, and I need a little peace. Big beat burger, here I come. But wait, who is this loon? Or hide and seek for dummies. I'm being tailed. The last thing I need now is a weirdo stalker following my every step. Did I take this investigation too far down the rabbit hole? Okay, I guess this guy is actively following me for now, and she I can only stumble upon if I go to the BBB. So I guess I will try figuring out what's my stalker's deal. Let's go here. I am sure there are better ways of finding solitude than wandering aimlessly in the endless downpour. There are nights when I dive straight into the theist crowd and vicariously enjoy their sweat, their hypnotic moves, and the mindless self-indulgence. When my body starts to resonate with their relentless wall of sound, everyone disappears and I am raptured into a perfect kind of isolation. Then there are those nights when I crash on the couch while Dakota goes on a rant about something so far removed from my area of interest, I zone out and enjoy the privacy of my own thoughts. But then there are moments like this one, nights when I just want everyone to shut the fuck up so that I can think. Those nights I usually end up mindlessly strolling along the rain-swept streets before inevitably ending at the Big Beat Burger, or at least that used to be the norm before this whole mess. Lately, even this kind of solitude seems to be beyond my reach, especially when I'm being tailed by a poor man's Ethan Hunt on a crash diet. He's been following me for 10 minutes, and so far he has managed to bump into an empty newsstand, make enemies of several cab drivers, and even got bitch-slapped by a living statue while trying to blend in. As he shortens his distance, I grab a nearby lamppost and swing myself around like Gene Kelly, using the momentum to quickly turn around and look right at him. Oh, hell no. He springs up into the nearest alley. I wonder if he thinks that somehow I did not notice. Well, to be honest, I'm pretty sure he did notice, because he kind of directly, I guess that was a response to him seeing that I saw him. But I guess just keep walking. Oh, wait, that's not the type of keep walking I wanted to do, actually. I wanted to keep walking. Again, I kind of catastrophically misunderstood the game, because I wanted to keep walking as in keep... I assumed the character is going to follow him, right? But I guess I just ignored him, which isn't entirely reasonable, I feel like. I should have confronted him, but fuck that guy. It's not like he will keep following me after this fiasco. I'm about to walk away when an obnoxious voice, not belonging to the creep, catches my ear. It's coming from the same alley. It's followed by a loud crash from sounds like the metal side of a garbage dumpster, followed by a painful moan. Maybe the stalker got himself in trouble. I will check it out. I should let that creep deal it with himself. I should, but I won't. Can't have a moment's rest in this goddamn city, can I? As I barge into the alley, I notice two hooded jocks bullying my scrawny stalker. While the big guy wrestles with a high-tech smartphone, the sleeker one keeps punching. How nice of them to share responsibilities. Okay, I feel like Oblivion is probably the most fun, so I'm kind of tempted to do it, but it is also probably the most stupid because it's the most conspicuous, right? I would say Potence is the least, because you know I might be just trained in martial arts or whatever. That's the rational explanation. What's the rational explanation for like shadows rising up to devour them or whatever? But I want to see how the Oblivion discipline is described. So I guess they changed the name. I do remember it being Obtenebration in the past editions. But I am kind of curious. It's my first attempt at using it, so let's do it. Screw it. With the exception of a single lamp flickering over the stalker's head, the alley is dim enough for me to keep the shadows unnoticed. As I creep up on the roughneck, an eerie sensation slowly overwhelms my senses, like drowning, but without the feeling of suffocation. It's calling me softly from the limitless black, and between one step and the next, I realize that I am unrecognizable, completely enveloped in darkness. You still don't understand it, whatever it is. The negative Nancy in my head warns, maybe, but I know I can bend it to my will. In the blink of an eye, I emerge from the shadows, backed up by the sound of unnerving clicking and unintelligible whispers. He takes off like a turbocharged RC car, bumping into every single trash can before eventually jumping out of the alley. As the gloom settles, I turn my head looking for the short goon, but he is long gone. I pick up a peculiar smartphone on my way to the stalker. It doesn't take a genius to figure out it belongs to him. The screen is locked and glitches oddly as soon as I touch it. No surprise there. The stalker seems relieved, but at the same time unnerved by the fact I'm holding his property. He tries to exhibit some confidence, but his trembling voice undermines the effort. Listen, I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, but I would like that back. It's not like you can use it anyway, right? The nervous smirk on his already punchable face kinda makes me wish that I'd left him to his own devices. I'm of two minds about handing over something I could use to gain leverage over the sleazy asshole who's been stalking me for God knows how long. I guess I might threaten to break the phone. Maybe he will reveal some more information. Is this yours? Yeah, I would like it back. You would, wouldn't you? Here's the deal. You start talking and I don't crush this thing to pieces. Give it back or... I give the phone a little squeeze and show the slightly deformed case to the pockmarked guy. You were saying? Okay, you got me. I'm cornered, yeah? So I'll talk. Just throw me the phone, please. He sounds pretty desperate. Fine. It's not like he's going anyway without my consent at this point. And if he tries to start some shit, the smartphone goes back into my hands and under my heel. There you go. He catches the phone with the liveliness of a little boy getting his first video game console. Thanks, Jules. I really appreciate that. He knows my name and makes a point of bragging about it, not particularly subtle. Why the fuck are you following me? Are you with the Camarilla? Did somebody tell you to watch my steps? He looks confused when I mention the sect's name. I realize after the fact it was probably a really stupid thing to say to a random creep. Yeah, right? Right? You'd think. From the way the character is portrayed, I would say she's pretty impulsive and not necessarily... she's very... Like, she has no filter. She does a lot of things, she says a lot of things that she should probably only keep in her mind and not say out loud. Not sure what a caramella is. Sounds tasty, but my boss, he's an important guy. You want to be on his good side, let me tell you. Wait. Isn't he Kaiser's ghoul or something? Might be. I don't remember exactly how he looked in coteries. That said, he doesn't tell me anything I don't need to know, and all I know is he wanted me to keep an eye out on you tonight. Something you're being watched, something powerful friends. That's the best you've got? You're not getting anything else from me. You want to finish what those alley rats started, go ahead, but you'll be wasting your time, Jules. The loser seems to brace for a hit, contorting his face into a confusing grimace, which was probably meant to express bravado. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. Fair enough, but call me Jules again, and this time when you lose your phone, you will need a proctologist to help you find it. A psychologist would probably not help him with removing a phone stuck deep into his ass. Kinky, ain't ya? I'll see you later. You won't if you know what's good for you. He doesn't respond. As he limps away, I recognize that the rain is slowly letting up, and that once more, I'm left with more questions than the answers. C'est le refrain de ma vie. Okay. I have no idea what that means. C'est la vie means something along the lines of that's life or something? I don't really know, but this... not familiar with that phrase. Well, the game is not about to tell me. I decide to get on with my night and focus on the relief that comes from realizing I'm not the voyeuristic object of some creep's interest. Been there, done that, wouldn't recommend. Time to get a move on. It's time to get back to work. I step inside the subway and head for my meeting with Kadir. Oh, for fuck's sake, I thought you were kidding. Nope, I couldn't reach her, but I know for a fact Hope is there. He's pointing in the direction of a double spiral building. Oh, that's the corporation I tried to... I uncovered some shit on in the prologue, right? That got me fired in the first place. And what is she doing there? I understand she's the current leader of the company, acting CEO to be exact. Well, I kind of wasn't expecting that. No, you're pulling my leg. Of all the places in this city, the company that brags about creating IT solutions for the future, always surrounded by the rumors of monstrous worker abuse, all sort of ethical violation, trading information with governments, and ending the career of a certain promising journalist and professional fuck-up who attempted to investigate them seriously. You might be able to ask her both professional and personal questions. 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't get it. Last time I checked, the company belonged to Kara Montgomery. Ah, that's another... I know that Kara Montgomery was a character in Hope's storyline in Coteries, but again, I didn't finish it because of the way the game was structured, so I don't know exactly what the relationship was, but I guess the conclusion was that Hope somehow removed her from power and became the CEO herself. I'm told she quietly took a sabbatical a few months ago, and it sure looks the kind of sabbatical you don't come back from. Oh, so she killed her then. Final death? Very possible, but I have no idea. I remember I was shocked when I first learned that one of my nemesis back in my old life was a vampire all along. When I realized her position made her untouchable to me, I was beyond mad. Well, whatever happened, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. What about her brother, Jesse? You're asking me? Last time I checked, you were the expert on this company. I just handled the basic intel for you, even though I shouldn't really even be here. Yeah, and I hope you realize I'm grateful. You'd better be. So is Hope just another corporate shark? Well, she's the child of Carter. Oh, I don't think I knew that? A theatrical pause. He smiles as he sees me wince. But very much unlike him, he took her in for her peculiar multifaceted talents related to the internet, knowing he's hopelessly behind the times in that regard. I hear that she's been unruly though. Well, unruly is good. I can work with unruly, so you're telling me she might not be a stuck-up startup bitch? Language. As I told you a few times now, when it comes to the internet, I just assume I haven't the slightest idea. I'm getting there myself. I haven't been able to check my emails for 5 months. I have no idea what the kids at BBB are talking about most of the time. Oh my god, I might be getting old. Don't worry, the moment you realize you don't give a damn about most fads that you've cared about a year ago is a liberating one. Been there, done that, at the beginning of the 20th century. Old. Anyway, you will probably hear Hope's story straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have much time, so let's get straight to the point. You shouldn't be looking at anything in the main building. It's just a front, ignore it. What you want to do is use the elevators to get to the lowest floor of the building. I've heard stories about the double spiral basement, but I had no idea what to make of them. Every source told me a different rumor. Did any of them tell you a rumor about an army of underground ghouls? No, but I'm all ears. Double Spiral employs an army of ghouls as a cheap workforce. They work and live underground, away from prying eyes, with lesser rights than regular kind employees. Perfect for business. Yeah, right, because you can just pay them with vitae, right? Because they are already addicted to it? Wow. I'm actually speechless for a second. I had profoundly low expectations for that company, but every time I learn something new about what's going on behind the scenes, I'm still surprised at the level of scumbaggery at play. I'll leave the moral judgments to you, expert. In any case, you need to reach the room number 507, where the CEO supposedly resides. And then, get Hope to answer your questions. His old-timey phone vibrates. Speaking of, if you've got any left for me, it's now or never. I am needed at the art hall now. What's the best approach? How should I approach the building? I've told you everything I know. Just do what I do all the time. And that is scout the situation and then decide, well, duh. You weren't particularly helpful to me with your answer. Right, I forgot what is it that you do all the time? You mean scouting? No, stating the obvious. Yeah, right, I do. I do kind of agree with her on that. The phone vibrates again. Well, that's it for me. Arturo is pestering me to show up at the Elysium 5 minutes ago. Tell him I kindly suggest he goes fuck himself. Not in 1,000 years. Well, good luck with your mission, soldier. With a mock salute, he disappears inside his car and drives away. Nothing left to me but to head in. Still, I'm anxious. There are 2 approaches to choose from, and whichever I pick, I will have to stick with it. If I force myself in and assert my authority bad cop style, that should make an impression. Bad bitch coming in with the entire court behind her, bluffing her way to victory. Sneaking in and politely asking for cooperation seems like the less disruptive, more me option, but it's not like being me has taken me anyway that far. Shit, I kinda wish I was still stuck in my routine where I didn't need to be doing things like developing a personality. It's a bit of a coin flip, honestly, but I have to make a choice here. How do I approach the double spiral? Well, to be honest, in addition to the covert approach being less suspicious and potentially less problematic down the line, I feel like as a Lasombra, I am kind of uniquely predisposed to being sneaky because I can control the shadows, right? And use them to help me hide, but I also don't show up on cameras, so that would help me with the whole approach, so I will try to stay covert. Being aggressive is not me. I don't even want to think about the headaches I would have to deal with. So I've kinda gained a new trait. Not into a bad cop shtick. Okay. The less disruptive I am, the better the chance they won't get pissed off at me, and I do need hope to be cooperative. The good cop approach should pay off eventually. Oh, so I'm not really sneaking in. It's more like my general approach is going to be more polite, I guess. Alright, let's do it. I cloak myself in shadows and let my instincts take over. The lobby isn't well lit, so it's not hard to get behind the lone security guard. He does notice something is wrong with the security cameras and hits the display a few times, but once he's done, I'm already inside the emergency staircase and making the descent. The doors to the deepest floor are locked, but it takes just a bit of brute force. And I'm inside. Hello, double spiral. Thought you wouldn't see me again, huh? Assholes. I look around and find an emergency evacuation map. Bullseye. Looks like all of the information I need is here. There it is, room 507. Wait, is that Hope? She looks kind of different than she did. I don't think that's her, but maybe one of the ghouls? Someone comes around. Looks like one of Hope's nerdy ghouls is here to sniff around, but I'm already in the shadows. I slink away as she starts patrolling the corridor, checking if everything is okay. Cameras, body heat sensors, electronic locks. Still, I'm managing. I remain cautious, just like Kadir would want me to, but it's surprisingly easy for me to avoid security. Yeah, right, that's kind of what I said. Progressing towards room 507 is far easier than expected. I reach the double spiral offices, just like Kadir said. Hordes of ghouls are slaving away for their company. Deep learning, spyware, social media manipulation, yada yada. The important thing right now is everyone is staring at their own screen, so it's easy for me to keep sneaking. Aside from the fact she still seems to be on my trail, only slowed down by the fact she's thorough in her search, I better pick up the pace. And there it is, the final corridor. Time to announce myself. I slowly walk to the end of the corridor. There it is, room 507. The door lock looks harder to take care of than the others in this place. Probably won't be able to take care of it the same way I did with the others. Door to the office of the current double spiral CEO. This fucking company. I get pissed off, but I'm trying to control it. There's a camera by the door. If she knows what to look for, she can probably see I'm here on her screen. But just to make sure, I knock on the door. Hope, I'm a Camarilla detective, and I would need you to answer a few questions. Hope, I know you're in there. Open the door. I will not leave until you do. I am here on behalf of the sheriff of the New York City. Hope? I keep pounding on the door and calling her name. After a minute or so, a voice rings in the intercom. Is this thing on? I guess it is. Alright, I got your message loud and clear. I will meet you in the offices. I'll be right there. Looks like you made it past poor Nastia. Get back to the offices and keep her company. She's probably beyond pissed about you eluding her grasp, but don't make it a big deal, okay? Thank you for your cooperation. I will be right there. What's up? Well, I feel like this is a decent enough moment to end the episode because the conversation will probably take a bit of time and I only have a couple of minutes. So I'm going to end it here and talk with Hope next time. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!